Well, God is a God of preparation. He had to make male and female adult at creation, because forward planning meant to be there had to be another generation, and if they weren't adult and each ready to reproduce, the whole race would have died out. Humanity and every other creature would have died out. He made each father and mother different, separate, and able to match. And that was first time round. That's amazing. And he also had to have them that they met on the right day when the female was fertile, because she's not fertile all the year round. She only has a few days a year, whether it's a horse, a dog, or a human being. And that's how God planned it. And I just want to try to explain a bit about the anatomy. Girls' eggs are amazing. They have a control centre and they have different parts that do different jobs. And they are in our womb while we are still in our mother's womb, in the baby. A baby girl has eggs in her womb. And boys, they don't have sperm. They don't have sperm when they're babies. Their sperm doesn't grow till they are teenage, which is another reason to show that only adults could reproduce. And the sperm in a boy swims in something called semen, which is amazing stuff. It's made up of food, cleansing liquid, water, and other things that all come together to make it easy for the sperm to swim along the tract when it wants to get out. And God uses the sperm to ignite new life. All of us began with a sperm meeting an egg. And it was the most wonderful, amazing, God-given moment. He made you, He made me, He made us different. And He had us pre-planned in His mind's eye. God also puts a spark for energy into us and for growth. How could it just arrive from nowhere? Growth is the most amazing thing. It had to come from God. And the other amazing thing about an egg is that it has a special barrier around it which stops sperm of a different sort of creature entering it. The sperm head of a human is different shaped to other creatures, and so a sperm from a man can only get into the egg of a woman, and other things are blocked out. And if by any chance there is a mistake within the animal world, within 2 or 3 generations it dies out because the line becomes sterile. Not always straight away, but within a short time. Now, one of the most delicate things to talk about, and it's quite hard to discuss, is how you get the sperm out, because that is an absolute miracle in itself. Because the male, in almost every situation, has to impregnate the female, her birth canal, which is quite a tricky business. And each time it had to work in the first generation, so God had to plan it that A, there was the incentive in the male to want to do it, and B, that the woman would be receptive, or the female animal would be receptive. And monkeys and humans are different. Humans have what is called a blood supply system to enable their reproductive part to get into the female reproductive canal, and blood is triggered by something in the brain, and it's pushed down into the male organ, and there are already flat little sacs that are empty there, and blood is pushed into those sacs, which then raises the organ so that it can then be put into the female tract. And at the same time, all these different bits come and help the sperm to be pushed along, and there are special muscles that contract and help push it along. God had to have organised all that before it ever started. Otherwise it would just be a mess, wouldn't it? I mean, God is so amazing, and it's happened to all of us. All of us are the product of something like that. It is truly amazing, and God, to Him be the glory. It's amazing.